The morning calm of Greenhaven Estates shattered as Margaret Collins, the HOA president, screamed into her phone. "Police! He's stealing a Rolls-Royce in broad daylight." Her face was a mask of crimson fury, veins pulsing at her temples as she pointed accusingly at me. Little did she know, her reign of terror was about to implode. Ethan Carter didn't just own the car, she was standing on land I now legally controlled. This is how I dismantled a neighborhood tyrant and rebuilt a fractured community, sparking debates that would ripple far beyond our quiet streets. I never planned to settle in Greenhaven. After selling my tech startup for $40 million, I craved peace after years of 18-hour workdays. The Tudor-style house with its sprawling lawn and three-car garage seemed like a sanctuary, private yet part of what the realtor called a tight-knit community. If only I'd probed what tight-knit meant. The realtor, led by Margaret, glossed over the HOA's iron grip, nicknamed the Greenhaven Vulture, for her relentless scrutiny. My first encounter with Margaret came on moving day. I offered a handshake and a smile. "Hi, I'm Ethan Carter, just moved in." Her eyes raked over me, cold and calculating. "We don't usually see such young residents here," she said, her tone dripping with disdain. "Tech money, I presume? Blockchain or some fad?" Before I could reply, she added, "We have standards. I trust you've read the HOA bylaws." She turned and left, leaving me stunned but undeterred. I'd faced corporate sharks. One nosy retiree seemed manageable. My Rolls-Royce, a symbol of my grind, stayed garaged under a cover. It wasn't about flaunting wealth, it was for my late mother, who'd worked double shifts to keep me in school. One evening, after Margaret's unannounced inspection of my fence line, I uncovered the car, running my hand over its hood. "You'd be proud, Mom," I whispered, the memory of her sacrifice grounding me. My neighbor, Lisa Bennett, warned me about Margaret's tyranny. Over a glass of wine, she recounted how Margaret, a widowed former PR exec, had morphed into a dictator after her husband's death. "She's driven out 3 families," Lisa whispered. "It's not about property values, it's control." I shrugged it off, confident my negotiation skills would tame her. How wrong I was. 3 days later, Margaret pounded on my door at 9:30 p.m., citing my trash cans being 2 inches off regulation. I apologized and adjusted them, but irritation simmered. This was my home. Why was I groveling? Checking my security cameras, I found a 15-minute gap in the footage and my back gate ajar. This wasn't petty politics, it was invasion. Lisa texted later, saw Margaret leave. "Trash can lecture, huh? Most of us just obey." I replied, "She's never faced someone who's battled investors over millions." But doubt crept in. Was this worth it? The next morning, a 172-page HOA rulebook appeared under my door, sections highlighted with Margaret's scrawled warnings. Rules dictated everything: mailbox designs, paint shades, even holiday decorations, 14 days before, 7 after, $50 daily fines otherwise. I laughed at the absurdity, but the reality hit: these were enforced with zeal. At a board meeting, a nervous member, Tom Reynolds, hinted I was on Margaret's watch list. When pressed, he fled, muttering, "Just follow the rules." Margaret's welcome tea for new residents felt like a trap. "Here's our tech whiz, Ethan," she announced, her smile venomous. "Drives that giant car." "What's it called?" She cut me off, mocking my internet business and hinting at a tech bubble. Residents squirmed, but none dared challenge her. Her walls, lined with photos of local politicians, screamed influence. When she warned my youthful energy might disrupt Greenhaven's exclusivity, the threat was clear. A week later, 5 HOA violations arrived, totaling $2,500 for nonsense like unauthorized curtain color and a lawn 0.25 inches too tall. My cameras showed another gap during the inspection, and my gate was tampered with again. I paid the fines but attached a letter demanding answers about the trespassing. Silence would only embolden her. The HOA secretary, Claire Evans, whispered a tip. Check the financials at tomorrow's meeting. Margaret's targeting you. That night, Lisa texted, you stared her down at the tea. I wish I'd had your guts. Her words fueled me. This wasn't just my fight, it was for everyone cowed by Margaret. At the meeting, Margaret's PowerPoint, Preserving Greenhaven Standards, was a public shaming. Slides zoomed in on my property, arrows pointing to a single dead leaf labeled vegetation decay. She silenced my rebuttals with obscure bylaws, and supporters cowered. Claire's furtive glances confirmed my suspicions. Something was rotten. An elderly couple, the Wilsons, apologized after. Margaret wasn't always like this, they said. Her husband's death changed her. Be careful, someone who challenged her got their car keyed. Their warning lit a fire. I volunteered to revamp the HOA website, gaining access to a private, financial folder Claire hadn't locked. The records were damning. The HOA was bankrupt, reserves drained. Contracts with firms like Collins Landscaping, linked to Margaret, charged triple market rates. A pool renovation, funded by a $2,000 per household fee, cost half the budget, with no trace of the rest. Claire confirmed Margaret's embezzlement, funneling funds to allies while punishing dissenters. Board members don't question her, she said. She's untouchable. Staring at a photo of my mom, I recalled her words. Home is where you fight, not flee. I contacted Lisa's friend, Mark Sullivan, an HOA dispute attorney. He revealed First National Bank was set to foreclose on Greenhaven's common areas, streets, parks, the community center, due to a defaulted loan Margaret botched. The balloon payment loomed, and the HOA couldn't pay. I called Daniel Pierce, First National's CEO, and my startup's early investor. Can I buy the loan? I asked. Daniel hesitated. This isn't a tech play, Ethan. It's a mess. I insisted it wasn't about profit but principle. He relented, chuckling. Still the idealist. As I finalized the deal, Margaret called an emergency meeting to propose crippling fines aimed at me. Her slideshow accused me of threatening property values. Her eyes betrayed fear. She sensed her empire cracking. The day I signed the papers, owning Greenhaven's common areas, I drove my Rolls-Royce, a rare flex. Margaret filmed me, sneering. Flaunting your crypto cash? Some of us earned our homes. I ignored her, but at the bank, Daniel handed me the deeds. You're sure? He asked. I nodded. This was about restoring Greenhaven, not revenge. Unbeknownst to me, Margaret had paid Frank Turner, a troubled ex-demolitions expert, $5,000 to rig my car's fuel system. Her orders: teach him a lesson, nothing lethal. On the highway, a deafening bang rocked the car. Smoke billowed, flames erupted, and I barely steered to the shoulder. My $400,000 Rolls-Royce burned to ash as I watched, heart pounding. Firefighters arrived too late. This wasn't a game, someone wanted me broken. The trauma lingered. Loud noises startled me, sleep eluded me. A forensic report confirmed sabotage, a device meant to intimidate, not kill. Claire's license plate tip and my PI's work traced Frank to Margaret via bank records. I could have sent her to prison, but I paused. Jailing her wouldn't heal Greenhaven. Returning home, I found police in my driveway. Margaret, smug, declared, "That's him. Nobody here owns a car like that. It's stolen." I showed my registration, explaining the sabotage. Her bravado crumbled as officers warned her about false reports. In her eyes I saw fear. She knew the tide had turned. I mailed every resident a packet: my deed, the sabotage report, HOA bank statements, and Margaret's shady contracts. My letter exposed her mismanagement, risking foreclosure, and proposed slashing HOA fees by 30% with transparent finances. I offered Margaret mercy, no charges if we resolved this civilly. At her supporter breakfast, Claire said Margaret trembled, dismissing it as fraud. But attorneys confirmed my ownership, and her allies deserted her. At the emergency HOA meeting, P presented with Mark, Claire, and Daniel. Residents were stunned. Eleanor Hayes, a 72-year-old resident, wept. I paid $4,000 yearly, trusting her. Daniel revealed the HOA's insolvency. Claire exposed Margaret's nephew's inflated contracts. Margaret stormed out, shouting, I built this community! Eleanor tossed her rulebook, crying. We trusted her. Margaret's son, Nathan Collins, a real estate lawyer, met me, expecting a fight. I showed him the sabotage evidence. His face paled. She's not well, he admitted. Dad's death broke her. The HOA became her obsession. He revealed her paranoia and untreated anxiety. I softened. I don't want her jailed. She needs help. Nathan teared up, recalling her once warm community parties. Margaret rallied a futile protest, claiming I'd commercialized Greenhaven. Her erratic behavior alienated every supporter. Local media swarmed, and I held a press conference with Lisa. She spoke powerfully. 5 years here, and I'm finally heard. As I outlined park renovations, Margaret burst in, screaming, I'm Greenhaven's protector! Nathan gently led her out, apologizing. She needs help. Eleanor sighed. She was our friend before power corrupted her. At the HOA election, I declined presidency, proposing a council with term limits and audits. Shockingly, I suggested Margaret as Community Traditions Director, leveraging her old knack for unity. Reaction split. Some saw mercy, others madness. Nathan later thanked me. Treatment's helping. Purpose, not power, is what she needs. 6 months later, Greenhaven thrived. Parks gleamed, fees dropped, neighbors reconnected. I hosted a block party, my new Rolls-Royce proudly displayed. Franklin Moore, 70, gripped my hand. You didn't just save our land, you saved our spirit. Margaret, post-treatment, approached. Nice car, she said softly. Maybe a car show? I smiled. I'm here to listen. Greenhaven's crisis exposed raw truths. Power corrupts, but forgiveness rebuilds. Margaret's fall was tragic, her redemption divisive. Was my mercy naive or noble? Drop your thoughts below. Have you faced an HOA nightmare? Should forgiveness trump justice in community conflicts? Like, subscribe, and let's debate what makes a neighborhood a home.